Buying your first home, the process from start to finish. Follow along and stick to the end, and I'm going to show you exactly how to save tens of thousands of dollars on your first home. Your first step in the home buying journey is your pre approval. You have to know your budget. Obtaining a pre approval letter from a lender is the most important part. One of the very first steps of purchasing a home or investment property includes meeting with a trusted mortgage broker or a bank and obtaining a pre approval letter. Having a pre approval will give you a sense of what your monthly financial obligations are going to look like. Make sure you can budget with the allotted amount you're given. Just because you're given a certain dollar value doesn't exactly mean you're going to be comfortable with those monthly payments. It's important to take into consideration your lifestyle, the things you enjoy, and are you going to have the money to continue to do so with your new mortgage payments? I also want to touch on difference between a mortgage broker and a bank. You can go through lending on options on either side. If you're working with a bank that you've been with for years and you trust them and you want to go through keeping all your financials located with them, you can easily do that. A mortgage broker also has the ability to look at every single lending option from every single financial institution and figure out which one is going to be the best for you. It's always good to shop around for rates. Don't just go to the first person. Don't go talk to one mortgage broker. Don't just talk to the bank. Ask multiple people. Get multiple opinions. See if you can get some different rates. Don't just stick with the very first one. Tools and programs. Working with me at the Bricks Real Estate Group, we have an amazing client care team who's going to help us through this process. They're also there to answer some questions if need be and make sure all our documents are in order when that time comes. So this is just one step that we personally do to make this a little easier during your home buying journey. Step 3, viewing homes and what to expect. You're pre-approved, you got that letter from the bank or the mortgage broker, you successfully connected with us, we figure out exactly what you're looking for, where you want to be, your budget, and then we get to start that viewing process. So this is definitely one of the most exciting parts when you're purchasing a home. It gives you a chance to view the home in person, see if it's the right size for you, if it's big enough, close enough to schools, parks, and other transportation needs. We're going to be able to go through an entire list because we want every single piece of criteria from you to figure out exactly what it is you're looking for. And we're going to put together those showing lists and be able to go and look at whatever it is you're wanting to see at that time. You have to walk in and out of multiple different homes to figure out what is best for you and what works for you. We're here to help you provide useful information on that homes in those neighborhoods that isn't always accessible just by looking at it on realtor.ca or on a website. Our knowledge during the home buying process, negotiating skills, and familiarity with the area of what you want to live in is extremely valuable during this time. Our job is to protect you and your interests during this process. What this means is when we're viewing a home, we might have conversations you don't want to hear, but at the end of those conversations, you need to hear them. If you're viewing a home and the house might have some issues, our job is to uncover those and disclose that to you. Another job of ours is to carefully research what the fair market value is. If there's points in the home that could end up causing a resale issue in the future, or even a bonus as far as resale goes, it's important that you guys know that. Once you've looked at a number of homes and you finally narrow down the one that you believe is yours, we want to then commence putting in that offer. And this offer stage is different for different people and depending what type of property you're putting in. But this is a pretty good overview of exactly what to expect during this time. So at this point, we're going to educate you on the key terms and conditions of this contract, what's in there and what it looks like and what to expect. This includes multiple terms. However, there are a few key subjects that we definitely want to highlight here. So one is the price. What price are you prepared to pay for the home? The goods included and excluded. What goods are included in the purchase, like the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator, and what might be excluded. Those items don't necessarily have to be a part in the sale of the home, 9 times out of 10 they are, but some people might go, I just bought this fridge, I just bought this washer dryer, I just bought this, I'm taking it with me to the new home. Definitely happens. Those things are written into the contract so we know exactly what to expect or not to expect. Financing is a big portion. Do you require a mortgage or are you paying cash? The financing portion is a part of the condition to help you and protect you. You might have that pre-approval from whatever lender you chose, but they need to see the property on an MLS sheet to figure out the taxes and do their own assessment based off the information that we can give them for it. And you always want to do a property inspection. What type of condition is the home in? Is there anything such as plumbing, roofing, insulation, or electrical that is concerning? And then the deposit as well. What will you be putting down as your initial deposit to show that you have some part in during this process? You can't put an offer in without putting something up at stake on your end. You have to show that you're serious about this, and by doing that, you put down a deposit. The deposit is fully refundable up to a certain point. You have to go through the condition period. And if at any point in time during that condition period, financing, home inspection, there's red flags that come up, the bank doesn't give an approval of some sort, you're allowed to get that deposit back. It's only after you go through each condition, you waive those conditions, and you say you're satisfied with everything, and you're waiting in between that time of waiving conditions and possession date that you cannot back out of that deal at any point in time. And if you do, you are forfeiting that deposit. You also want to add in there any additional terms or conditions, if things need to get repaired before possession date, if certain items need to be cleaned, do we want professional cleaners in there for the house? Is it totally filthy? Also, every single contract needs to have a pre-possession walkthrough at least 72 hours before possession date. So what that means is we're going to put that term in there that allows us to come and view the home a few days before possession to make sure everything that we said needs to be done is done. The home's still exactly the way that we saw it when we toured it. No major floods happened, no major issues happened. They didn't take a bunch of things they weren't supposed to. And that's just a way to protect you. And if any of those issues arise, that's when we get the lawyer involved. So after writing the contract, we'll present this offer to the listing agent and act on your behalf the entire time, giving them the opportunity to negotiate and do their best to make sure you're satisfied with the contract and both parties agree with price, deposit, terms, conditions, completion, possession date, and whatever else. So once that offer is accepted, congratulations, it's perfect. Now's the time to put that hard work in at satisfying your conditions, also known as the subjects. So depending on what your contract states, your deposit might be due within the first 24 to 72 hours of them accepting that offer. So like I say, that deposit has to get put in at the start before you do the other conditions to show that you're serious during this process. If your contract is subject to a home inspection, your next step is scheduling that home inspection with the company. We have some great recommendations, or perhaps you have a family, someone that's already purchased and used someone in the past. So those are always great people that you can use as well. While you're ensuring your deposit is made and your home inspection is scheduled, we'll also be working on our end to make sure we've done as much due diligence as we can to make sure that this property is right for you. The last thing we want is unexpected surprises. Proper zoning information from the municipality, liens, encumbrances, registered instruments on the title. If you're doing a condominium purchase, we want all those condo documents for review and making sure all the floor plans are good as well. Next, we want to work on financing and having your mortgage approved. In order to do this, your mortgage broker or bank is going to ask potentially for an appraisal. This is normal procedure. It is done quite often, as this will tell the bank three things. Does the property meet the bank parameters? Is it a safe risk? Making sure you aren't overextending yourself for a property and its condition. And is the property worth what you're going to pay? So a few key things here. If your appraisal is lower than the purchase price you have in place, this doesn't mean the deal is completely dead. It does mean that we have to come up with a difference. So hypothetically, let's say that we're purchasing at $600,000. The bank comes back with an appraisal of $580,000. We are only getting lending up to that $580,000. So we need to come up with that extra $20,000 in the difference. If the appraisal is higher than the purchase price, then the bank will lend on the actual purchase price. So that means that you're going to get approved for the financing. So some key things to definitely be aware of: there are some extra costs when it comes to purchasing a home. Depending on what type of property you're purchasing, there are a few different costs that are going to definitely come up before possession day. One thing to note on the buy side, for using a realtor, you do not pay anything. We're just there to help you and represent you. There's no money out of your pocket at any point in time during this process. Your down payment / deposit varies depending on the purchase price, what mortgage rate you qualify for, or whether or not you're a first-time home buyer. Various inspections depending on what type of property you're purchasing and how large the home is. A home inspection can cost anywhere from $400 to $900. Some inspections also charge an additional fee. Older homes, secondary suites, depending wood foundations, if you want a sewer scope, so the home inspector will come in, he'll run a scope from inside the home all the way to the main sewer line to the city to see if there's any issues in between there. And an appraisal sometimes costs money as well. For the most part, what I have seen is lenders end up paying that cost. Not all the time. If an appraisal needs to get done, whatever bank or mortgage broker will let you know, and we'll let you know the cost of that as well. Some mortgage brokers or banks may charge a mortgage application fee. This cost will vary depending on the company. And then lawyer / notary fees. In order to register a property and transfer the title from the previous owner, this has to be done by a lawyer and is paid for closer to your completion date. So once everything's solidified, you do have to find a lawyer that is going to work for you. Again, call around, ask for quotes. Lawyers are going to give you different prices depending on who they are, where they are, and what their fees are. So ask different lawyers on how much that's going to cost you and find one that works for you. Property taxes: if your property is located in a city, town, district, or village, in some sort of municipality, when you own the property in a municipality, you'll receive your property tax notice from that municipality. You pay your property taxes to the municipal office annually. In certain areas, you may register to pay your property taxes monthly. For example, the TIPP program offered through the City of Calgary allows you to make interest-free monthly payments to cover your property taxes instead of one large lump sum. GST, goods and service tax. The GST on a new build home is 5%. The purchase price in certain instances where these rebates are offered on GST, these rebates will vary and be evaluated on case-by-case basis in the builder and what programs they have in place. So at the beginning, I talked about how you can save tens of thousands of dollars. Some of these that we're talking about here is exactly how you get that. So home insurance: your home insurance is paid for monthly or annually and is not added onto your mortgage. This cost will depend on the size of your home and what type of insurance you've selected. Condo fees: a condominium is paid, has a monthly fee. Wherever you're purchasing a property such as a condo, townhome, duplex, or even a single family home that is part of a condominium corporation, condo fees are associated with that property. What those condo fees are paying are maintaining the building, common property, water, garbage, recycling. Every single condominium corporation, those fees are going to be covering different things. It covers the exterior of the home, but everything inside is still up to you. A pad fee: if you're purchasing a modular home, mobile home of some sort, lots of those are going to have a pad fee similar to a condominium fee. And then we always recommend purchasing new locks when you move in. You don't know who or how many other people were in that house before and how many keys were ever created, so you want new locks on that home. And then a moving company: unless you have a good set of friends and family that you can pay off with some beer and pizza, then you're going to be hiring a moving company. And their fees will depend on the distance being traveled and whether or not you would like assistance with packing and unpacking. So step 6, subject to removal: when you reviewed the title, property disclosures, gotten your financing approved, you're happy with the home inspection, your insurance is in place, and all the conditions you're satisfied with, this process let the sellers, your mortgage broker, insurance agent, and all other parties involved know that your accepted offer is now firm and your contract will be legally binding. If there's anything that needs to be renegotiated, it will be done at this time. After removing all the subjects, it's time to choose a qualified lawyer or notary, like I said, to help you complete this signing process. We will ensure all the necessary documents and files are sent to them. However, it's a good idea for you to give them a call and let them know you would like to use their office. This way they can provide you with an estimate and set up an appointment so that you can find a time to come in and sign those papers. Some other things to definitely be aware of: Canada Post, you want to let them know that you're going to be changing addresses. NMAX and any other equivalent utility providers, setting up those utilities for you to move into. You don't want to move in, have nothing set up, water shut off, electricity shut off, everything like that. Calling Shaw or TELUS or whoever else to come set up your home cable or internet, and then the moving company. So as I mentioned to you at the start of this video, there are definitely some ways as a first-time home buyer you can save tens of thousands of dollars on your first purchase. Currently, the Canadian government has some amazing programs and rebates to allow you to get 5% back on your first purchase. Now, there are some rules and stipulations to this. You have to be purchasing a brand new home. Resale properties do not qualify for this. So essentially, as a first-time home buyer, you only have to put 5% down for your down payment. And if you're getting that 5% GST rebate back, that means you're essentially getting your down payment in return. And depending on the purchase price of your home, this can be anywhere from $15,000 up to $40,000. So talk to your agent, get the details about this. I think it's an amazing program. Qualifying for that GST rebate, you'll go through the government, they will send you a check back for that 5%, and you can do what you want with it. If you put that towards buying furniture, put that towards a lump sum payment on your home, or use that for the first year to pay off your mortgage. So those are some amazing programs the Canadian government put in place. Definitely recommend exploring those options. Thank you for watching. If you guys want more information about this or want to sit down and have a chat, feel free to give me a call. Click the links in the bio, book something. Talk soon.